So, what are the things that you should look for, or what are the things that are important when we're talking about building a successful relationship? Well, I have three components that I believe are necessary, and I want to share them with you. All right, let's talk about it. So, thank you for tuning in. So, I was thinking about what it takes to build successful relationships. I remember it was maybe 2000 and I want to say 2004. Wow, that's a long time ago. Back in 2004, I wrote an article, and this was before I was even a therapist or anything like that. I don't even know if I was in school to be a therapist, but I wrote this article called "How to Choose a Mate," and the article was named "How to Choose a Mate, Not How to Find a Mate," because at the time I was unsuccessful at finding the right mate. However, the purpose of the article was to how to choose after you found, okay, how to make the right choice. And in that, I talked about some must-haves that, what I talked about really was you creating your list of must-haves, and then a whole other list of other things. Well, today, 2020, I've obviously grown, and I've had experiences. And so now, what I really want to share with you are three components to building. And I think these are foundational. I think these three components must be at the foundation. And on top of this, you build everything else. But before I get to that, let me talk about things that don't really matter. At least I've learned that they don't matter as much, or should I say, they don't belong in the foundational category. Now, back in the day, at the top of my list was a woman who looked a certain way. She had to have a small waist, she had to have a round butt, she had to have a flat stomach or close to it. That's just what I wanted. And I was really particular about that. As I got older, I began to pull back on that a little bit, but for the most part, it's what I've always wanted. It was always at the top. I got ridiculed so much for that being at the top of my list. Fine. But that was at the top of my must-have list. Something else that used to be at the top of my list is wanting someone with whom I could do business with, or it's real popular these days to talk about a power couple. All right, everybody want to be Michelle and Barack, and so I thought I wanted someone who not ran a business with me per se, but someone who was intellectually at a certain level so that we can help each other out in business. Someone who is ambitious, have their own things going on, not dependent on me to make their life great or whatever the case. That used to be something that I wanted in the foundation. It was a must-have. Now that I'm older and wiser and more experienced, what I've learned is that some of the things that I and we, some of the things that I and we, meaning you two, or you guys out there, previously thought was important, I found is not that important. And so that's why I named this, Does It Really Matter? There are things that I thought mattered that I've learned it doesn't matter as much as I thought. And so I want to share with you these three things because I don't want to be before you long. So these three things I believe are crucial to the foundation. And then once you have these, I'm not saying this is all you need for a successful relationship. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is these are probably, I believe, most important and foundational. one more thing. I'm sorry. I want to share with you some other things that these things were never on my list, but some other things that make me question, like, does that really matter? And hopefully, as I share what I share, you'll see that that may not matter as much as I thought. Things like career, education, a business mindset, right? The same interests. We all want someone, it's having someone who likes what you like important. I used to say, there was a time when I said, the next person that I get serious with, she's going to need to love basketball, know who Commission is, and love their music. And I think I said, no, was it Commission or John P. Key? It was one. It was either Commission or John P. Key. It's six in one hand, a dozen in the other. I love both of those from back in the day. But love basketball, love the kind of gospel music I like. I can't remember which one it was. And there was a third thing. I can't remember the third thing. Either way, it's not that important. Those things are not crucial. So what I've learned is, because we live on the same planet, you can find interest in something. They like indoors, you like outdoors, right? They like restaurants, you like eating at home. All these differences, you may, man, we don't have nothing in common. Well, find something in common because you live on the same planet and you're both humans. You both have minds, you both talk, you both, you can find some things in common if you get out of your way. So that shouldn't be on the list. Someone who's the right height or the right weight. Not saying that can't be on your list or whatever the case, but I don't believe that goes in the foundation. Here's one that you may or may not agree with. Whether or not they're romantic. Why did I say that? Because that can be learned. No one is born romantic. Did you know that? No one's born romantic. So that can be learned. It's not. And here's another one. And this is not an exhaustive list, but whether or not they're organized doesn't belong in the foundation. All right. So without prolonging, let me tell you these three things. So to build a healthy, successful relationship, the first thing that I need is for you to see me. Yeah, I need you to see me. To see me means you need to understand that I'm unique. I'm not, even though I'm a guy, even though I'm a black guy, even though I'm a successful black guy, I'm not every successful black guy. I'm not every guy. I'm not every African American. I'm me. So in order to see me, you got to understand me, which means you have to take the time, or at least be willing to take the time to know who I am, but not just who I am, but how I became who I am. That means you see me, right? And I'm not talking about just see me with your physical eyes, but I'm talking about see me, the uniqueness of me, because we're all different, right? I need you to see me. I need you to know my torques and habits, even when I haven't shared it with you, like just from observation. There's some things that I've observed about my lady. Just watching her operate, I can tell she don't like that, or she's uncomfortable with what's going on right there, or she probably wanted some more of that, or she probably wanted to go do that, because I pay attention, because I see her. And I could say it's because of the work I do, but I believe even if I wasn't doing this work, because I was interested in childhood stuff before I was a therapist. And so when I deal with her, at least I try to as much as possible, from the perspective of she's not like me. She wasn't raised like me. She didn't have my experiences. She didn't have my parents, wasn't in my house, doesn't have my mind, doesn't have my internal dictionary. And so I see her by trying to understand her, and I treat her in a way that's unique to her. And so I may change certain words when I'm trying to communicate something because of how I know it hits her in her dictionary, not just because of how it means in my dictionary. So I need you to see me. That's the first thing. The second thing, when it comes to building a quality relationship, I need you to accept me. So you see me, which means you see my good and my bad. You see my flaws. Now, when I say you see my flaws, I'm not saying that you just see me you just see me operating in the flawed area. But again, you understand why I respond that way. Not that you agree with it, but you understand. So now that you see me, you accept me, meaning I understand that you are the way that you are because you went through this. I don't really like that, but I accept you. Accepting me also means you're not trying to change me. There's a difference between trying to change someone and then helping them to want to be better, right? I definitely want a partner who makes me want to be better and challenges me to push past my limits, challenges me to grow. Those are good things. I think those are good relationship qualities. However, I need you to accept me first before you can try to motivate me to be better. Because if you just go right to the motivating, even though you may have good intentions, the thing is, it comes across as you're judging me and I'm not good enough. So I need you to accept me, see me, accept me for who I am. I was telling someone just the other day. It was this week. Today's Wednesday, so Monday or Tuesday. And I was talking to a young man. Who is in his early 20s. And what I told him was, because he was telling me about some social anxieties that he had. You know, when I go into a room, I'm not the kind of person to just meet everybody and know how to, whatever. And I can't interact with people as well as others. And I said, well, is it interacting as well as others or like others? And I said, you got to accept yourself. You got to accept that you're different. You got to accept the fact that you're not an extrovert like that. That's okay. But once you accept it, then you can become your better self. And so what I was sharing with him was, I only recently, within the last 10 years, accepted the reality that I'm not the kind of man that I spent a lot of my life trying to be, because this is what society said manhood was. I'm 48. I just turned 48 last week. Maybe, and then in the last 10 years, I've accepted my humanity in the form of a man. I had to accept that I'm Clifton. I'm not Ray Ray. I'm not Charles. I'm not Daryl. I'm me. And so I had to accept that I don't walk around with, I got this water bottle that I need to fill back up. So I don't walk around with a water bottle like this full of testosterone, drinking it all day. All right, I have enough testosterone. I'm a man. But I don't walk around trying to prove my manhood and, wearing, I'm not tatted up, and I'm being stereotypical, but I'm making a point that what society said was manhood, I struggled with accepting me because I didn't have someone to show me what manhood was. So I had no idea that it was multifaceted and bigger than what society said. And so I'm constantly trying to fit into this mold of, you got to be more aggressive. You got to, And so I had learned to hate the way that I walk. I'm still not a huge fan of it, right? But when I watch TV and I see another guy walk, and in my mind, that's the kind of walk that a woman would like and would make her be like, ooh, wow, look at the way he walked. I'm like, man, I need a nice, sexy, masculine walk like that too. But God didn't give me. He didn't. I don't have it. And that's the thing. Uh, Most of what we want in people or what we admire in people, they ain't got nothing to do with it anyway. You didn't choose your face. You didn't choose your genetics. God did that. But in the same, when folk reject themselves, God did that too, right? So I had to accept who I was. For me, when I did that, my life changed. My confidence changed. The way I interacted with women and men, it all changed because I accepted me. So if you're going to be with me, you got to accept me. And I'm making this personal, right? But what I want you to do is use this and turn it around to you. When you're trying to build a quality relationship, they need to accept you, right? They need to accept you for you. One of the things, and now I think this is a funny story. One of the things that my lady did when we got together, because she had an idea of what a man was too, right? And so I'm not ashamed to say I'm not a roughneck, you know, at least my idea of a roughneck. Never been, ain't trying to be, but trust and believe that don't mean you can just run up on me and like I'm not a pushover, right? Anyway, so when I meet my girl, and there's a certain image that she likes. That's not me. But one of the things that we went shopping early on, and she wanted me to try on boots. Now, I've never, all my life, even though I'm from Texas, I've never been a boot person. This wasn't my thing. My mother always bought me dress shoes, so I like dress shoes. I love dressing, and I love like shoes, but I just wasn't into boots. Like, man, anybody got boots ain't my thing. So we go. I try on these boots that she want me to try on. I'm like, okay, fine. I try on the boots. And her reaction, her reaction to seeing me in the boots made me immediately fall in love with boots. And so now if you go in my closet now, I have a plethora of boots because she loves seeing me in them. And I ain't gonna lie, I do. I may be about to contradict myself, but I feel more manly when I wear my boots. I do. But I know that's the stereotype that's in my head, and that just gets massaged when but I'm just saying, I like boots. But I just thought that was funny. And so now, yeah, now I'm picking out boots, and I'm looking at boots. I'm like, oh man, I like those, because I didn't even know I liked that. But back to the point, accept me. So what's the third thing? You can't do the third thing if you don't do the first two, okay? So the first one was see me. The second one was accept me. The third one is, and you may think it's obvious, but let me explain, love me. You cannot love me if you don't see me, meaning understand me, and if you don't accept me, meaning just let me be me. I'm me. I'm unique. So is everyone else. If you don't do those two, you can't do the third one. You can't love me. Here's what loving me means. Seeing and accepting me is that simple. To love me means that based on what you know, because here's a myth. Love is not blind. Don't let people keep telling you that. Okay? Love is not blind. Love is not an emotion. Love is not, love doesn't do, I was going to say love doesn't do crazy things. But it can look crazy, even though it's not crazy. So I'm not going to say that one. But to love me means to do what's best for me, not just what I want. Okay? So loving me sometimes includes challenging me, but it also includes helping me grow. It means being patient with me. So if you've heard me do any of my love talks, I explained it this way. Love is a house. Like, imagine love is a house. Inside the house, lives everything that you need to have a healthy relationship. That's why love is enough. But inside the love house lives patience, forgiveness, consideration, compassion, compromise, self denial. All that stuff lives in the love house. And when you say you love someone, what you're saying is, when you need it, I'm going to do what's on this list at the times that you need it. So when you need me to be patient, I'll be patient. When you need me to forgive, I'll forgive. When you need me to correct or challenge or push you, then I'll do that. Why? Because I love you. But you can't love me if you don't know me. You can show love to a stranger. You can be going down the street and see someone in the rain with a flat tire. You can stop and help. That's showing love. But you cannot intimately love a stranger, because the more you know someone, the deeper your love goes. Now, that's my first time saying what I just said. And I don't feel like doing the whole, like, I can't do what I'm doing now and fact check in my head. But I'm processing the one to see if I actually agree with, you can't love a stranger intimately. That may not be true, but it's not as relevant as the real point that I'm making is, in order to love me, you got to know me. The more you know someone, the deeper your love can be, including God. You love God because of what you heard about him as a kid, and then you grow up and then you know him better. My love for God now is a lot deeper because I know him better. I know more about him. He's not just the all-encompassing perfect being in the sky, died on the cross, sacrificed his life for me. It's way, way, way more than that. And the more I learn about him and his love, the deeper my love for him goes. So in order for you to love me, you got to see me, you got to accept me. And to love me means to, at times, it means to put me before you. Now, you can't do that if you're unhealthy. So I'm talking about foundational things, right? I'm giving you 3 things that are foundational. You can't live on a foundation, right? So this is not the whole relationship. You can't live on a foundation. However, your house cannot stand without a foundation, without a solid foundation. These 3, solid foundation, see me, accept me, love me, but genuine love. And we got to get away from this flaky, I love you today because you made me feel good, and tomorrow I don't, right? Love is not about how you feel when you're giving it. Love is about a choice that I make to give to you. Now, you may feel a certain way when you receive the love, but how I feel as the giver is pretty irrelevant. I'm making a choice to put your needs before my needs. And that can only happen in a healthy way when I've already taken care of myself, so that I don't have love deficiencies where I'm trying to love you from an empty place, because then I'm going to hurt you. But that's a lesson for another day. So that's what I have for you today. Foundational to building a quality relationship. You want to choose someone who sees you. They won't see you as soon as they meet you. They won't see you day one. They may not even see you in a month. But before you talk about moving to the next level of life commitment, you need these foundational things in place. Yesterday, I posted about things, red flags before you got married. I'm going to do a video on that as well. This is kind of in line with that, right? But I'm just sharing with you 3 things that are crucial to the foundation of a healthy marriage. Don't miss this. A healthy relationship that ultimately leads to marriage. If you're already married, if you're already in a relationship and you don't have these, you need help. You need help because your love, whatever love you have, is not nearly as deep as it can be. As a matter of fact, I would say it's kind of a surface love, and at any time it can be uprooted. Yeah. When in a storm, The trees that don't have deep roots, they come up first. It's not that a tree with deep roots can't be uprooted, but more than likely it will not be. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Leave comments and feedback. I wasn't able to pay attention to the comments if there were any while I was doing this because of the system that I'm on. Next week, I'll have a new system. I can't wait. I just bought me a new MacBook Pro. So I'll be back on my Apple. This is on the PC that I built, but I'll be back on my Apple. And so it's a little different setup so that I can see the comments live. Either way, I hope you guys were helped by this. And I definitely welcome your feedback and questions. I love questions. So if you have questions, leave them in the comments, or you can email them to me at clifton@cliftonbrantley.com or clifton@learntolove101.com. And then lastly, if you haven't gotten the conflict resolution course, I strongly urge you to get it. It is on sale. The regular price is $79. It is on sale for $49. Why? Because I want you to get the information. 6 videos helping you to resolve conflict better. Why? Because in human relationships, it is impossible to do human relationships successfully without conflict and without effective conflict resolution. And so I have this mini course that I've created for you. Just go to the website, cliftonbrantley.com, scroll down to the bottom, and you purchase the mini course. And then there's a coupon that you need. I should have put this in the description. I'll edit and put this in the description. CR30 gift. That's going to give you $30 off the $79, so you can get it for $49. If you're in a relationship already, I strongly encourage you to get this course. I believe it will be extremely beneficial for you. You guys enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Thank you for spending a little time with me. And I hope that I hope you guys send me a lot of questions because I like interacting in that way. All right. Y'all take it easy.